Got it. Got it. Right. Do you want me to load it?
Hey, Chris, do you want
Yeah,
Scott
sure. You want to load it? I'll stop sharing.
Sure. All right. Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm okay.
Me too.
Apart from being at work.
Don't know what that's like. All right. Let's start from the end and see how we're going. Okay, you got 2 open trades. Let's look at those first. Beautiful looking trade. Gorgeous. Like, purely subjectively, nice tight range. Like these 3-bar patterns are just really clean, and the target is below the old highs. So at any one time, we got 3 things that can happen. We could form a trading range, we could reverse and go down, or we can continue on and make new highs. And your target is in a position where you've got 2 out of those 3 things covered. So that's a really nice trade. Really similar looking trade. I'd take this 10 out of 10 times. It's taken perfectly. Let's look at the exit screenshot for it.
Yeah, it just rolled over on me, I think.
Yeah, that's not so bad. That's going to happen every now and again. That's a good trade. And this one's still open. Okay, and we've got a short, and yeah, it's a good trade too. And yeah, this is looking very good. This one, right?
How are you feeling about your trading this week, Chris?
Yeah, pretty good. I think I've passed 20 without any mistakes now.
Yeah, there's no mistakes here, man.
Yeah. I had one occasion this week where I had my position size was wrong, but I corrected it. I had to take a small loss at market, but I think I just read the spreadsheet wrong. And
okay, so that's not a cause for alarm. That's a cause to give yourself an attaboy, because it's extremely emotionally difficult to notice that you got a little thing wrong and take a small, like, couple of tick loss.
Yeah, it was.
emotionally, it's hard, right? So, so I'd like you to cement that thing in your head of, when you're confused, generally the emotionally difficult thing is the correct thing. Generally. Yeah, great trading. That's not bad trading. That's great trading.
Yeah, it's going okay.
Let me get through the rest of these. Let's see if we really have no mistakes. Okay, so this is a short, and you got in. Okay, I'm not sure what you're doing here. That should have been the entry here.
I think the entry was the previous shooting star.
This.
Yeah, that does look.
Oh, okay, so I see what you've done here. So the proper entry was here. You came in late and jumped in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what?
Check on my own screen. Sorry, hang on. Which was that shitcoin?
Have a look at the entry.
Yeah, that seems to be marked up weird. Let me just check it.
Oh.
There it is. Target entry was 218. Yeah, so that's.
1 second, I just have to fix up my.
It looks like the exit drawing is kind of messed up.
Okay. Okay, so we've got the shitcoin index. My favorite.
Yeah.
That's a really nice trade. How did that one turn out?
That was a loss, actually. Oh, sorry, no, it wasn't a loss. It was a break even. And I've had a few. That was one of the notes I've made for the week.
Let's have a look at that. Which day was that? 1st of August.
Yeah.
Okay.
1st of August at 12:15 EST.
It's this one here,
There
right?
you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. That doesn't look like a loss.
Yeah, it wasn't a loss. It was like a break even, but it was a net loss.
I see. That's not a big deal. Okay, now the important
So
thing to understand is if you're going to move stop to break even, you've got to do that eyes wide open, knowing that you can have this situation where you're just unlucky.
yeah, to be honest, that's one of the things I was gonna. I think I'm gonna stop doing it. One, it introduces for me more chart watching. I find myself, having to check more often. Since we've moved to the new method as well.
Okay, so let's dig in a bit of that. There's a couple of things to unpack here. First of all, because you've got a thing called recency bias, because you're a smarter than usual species of monkey that wears shoes that doesn't think you're a monkey. The most recent thing that happened to you will always seem like the smart thing to adapt for every single time. So if you didn't have this situation, if it stopped you out for break even and then would have been a loss, you absolutely would be saying, oh, I love this stopped out for break even. It saves me so much pain.
Yeah.
So what I tell people is let's try and unpack that and just take into account that whatever you think about it is just garbage. Like you're just not capable of thinking clearly out of it because you're not objective, right? So where is the situation where you get hurt is usually where you have a big drawdown because you're taking a lot of trades in one day or a lot of trades in a losing period. By moving from 2 trades to 1 trade, you've lessened that substantially. So you've taken away some of the danger that you're seeking to abrogate. The other thing that we know is that this is absolutely suboptimal, but it's emotionally very difficult to see a trade almost hit your target and then come all the way back here and stop you out. Mm-hmm. But it's also emotionally very difficult to see this winner that you should have got that you didn't.
I'll tell you else, the other problem, Scott, is I'm finding that the order book seems to be quite thin on some of these coins. And I'm not getting stopped for break even if my break even is a couple of pips above my entry.
Don't worry about losing a 0.1 here and there. That's not the game.
Okay.
That's not a real thing. That's just you wanting to see the number of wins and the number of losses in your trading spreadsheet. That's just bias.
Okay.
But what we do know here is that it's more difficult technically, and it adds 2 layers of extra mental complication. And the reason behind doing it isn't as urgent as it once was. I would be inclined to tell you, I think you can cope better without it personally. Like I might not say that to everyone, but I think personally, I would think you would cope better without it.
Yeah, I think I'm getting to the point where looking at the charts less is going to be better. I mean, it's generally always the case, right? But
okay, so
I'm kind of at the point where I'm
beautiful trade. Look at this one. Yeah. Okay, so what I see is there's no mistakes here, by the way. This is excellent trading. And it's important that we celebrate that. You are on the cusp of going from okay to being exceptional. Good loser, great losing trade. And so let's be honest. What is the difference between you right now and a really extraordinary, like fucking amazing trader? That's one of those things. Like, let's make a list. Like let's Santa make the list, check it twice, and then you come back next week and we'll know if you've been naughty or nice. Like I mean, what's the difference between you and someone who's really, really trading the system at a high level? Like, list all the things.
Well, let me think. I guess
the first one that comes to mind is that you should, at the back of your head, have kind of like an extra sense about how the time is going and how long it is until the next rollover. Like whether you do that with an indicator or you kind of have an internal stopwatch that goes off. That would be that you kind of know Like you only got to pay attention for the last 2 minutes or so, like, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one.
So time interval.
The next thing I would say is you would want to have a very strong internal judgment sense for when you're working past, I would call it 80% of your fatigue rate. So,
Okay.
so when are you likely to make mistakes? The only mistakes I can see you making are, there's only 2 mistakes I could possibly see you ever making ever again. And the first one is you just sit down and you're not quite head in the game yet. And the second mistake is you got excited and you traded for too long, and then you turned to mashed potato, and then you had a loser and reloaded it, had another loser. Fuck, I don't want to stop it like this. Had another loser, and now you're 3 down, and then you take one more, and then you realize you're on tilt. That's the last mistake that I can see you making. So stopping that, a great trader would stop that by having a good internal sense of when am I tired? When am I hungry? When am I angry? When am I tired? And all three of those particularly are deadly for a trader. Arguing with your significant other, don't trade. Please don't trade. Hungry, stop and get some food. Like really, you're not yourself when you're hungry. And tired, like and tired often comes as a downstream consequence of this is so much fun, I'm having such a good time, or I can't stand to walk away from this and I'm in obsession. And both of those, so there's another thing that you want to start developing a sense of. So, so what else is left after that is preserving your mental attention. You can't concentrate forever on a certain thing. Preserve it by only spending your scarce thinking energy in the last couple of minutes before a rollover, and then coming back, and then coming back, and then coming back. And those are really the last things before you cross to really advanced trader level, right? You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it for 10 years and gradually figure it out. Like you can just decide, I'm going to be an expert trader tomorrow. Those couple of things are the things that are the difference between me now being competent, because you're clearly competent. You don't make any mistakes. Everything's good. You're making money. But the difference between competence and expertise, it's really very close for you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, it does. There's a lot of things to keep a note of there and figure out, but it's all sort of it's that
very close.
Not very technical. It's all kind of like that ethereal, emotional control. It's all the mindset stuff again. So I've been trying to work through Itamar's course.
Yes.
I started that. It's a bit difficult. I'm offshore. I'm on an oil rig at the moment, so it's a bit like I'm not getting any peace to sit and think about it properly. But I've been making some notes and whatnot and working through it. The other thing I've been doing is if you look in the trade diary is these weekly reviews.
Fantastic.
It might be a show for other people. I think it's in the on the right hand side in the highlights video column.
I had a quick look at this, Chris. This is excellent.
Really.
Really.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's not that impressive. It's just a.
No, dude, it is.
Dude.
Don't put yourself down, please. Like this is someone giving it a red hot go, your best effort. Like it's humbling that people take our work and put this amount of effort into it. It's fucking amazing, dude. And you're getting the result. I think you're ready to increase position size. That fumbling with the position size is not a mistake. That's a cause for attaboy because you did the emotionally difficult thing. And you learned something really important, which is if I'm really confused and I emotionally don't want to do something, probably got to do it.
Right, yeah. That was tough. Yeah, it was hard to be like.
Because one day you're going to fuck up and you're going to, probably not with this system, but probably discretionary trading, and you'll own something that's dropping through the floor and you'll be trying to decide if you should get out and take a loss, or should I just hold on and hope it comes good. And you might remember this day and go, what do I have to do? I have to do the emotionally difficult thing and mash them up.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I've already, I've been trading like I have like a funded Forex account, and I've already made all these fucking mistakes loads of times. So
But hey,
finally
you know,
started.
I made all these mistakes and then I blew up my Forex account in like 2007. And then I loaded another Forex account and blew them up again. And then again and again. Like
This
there's
system
no
is
guarantee
like,
of stopping, right? So you're stopping
I
these
mean,
mistakes. These are good.
yeah,
Okay, so what position, what size are you trading now?
$50 a trade at the moment.
Okay, we're going to put you at 100, knowing that you're probably going to make a couple of mistakes pretty soon. So what I'd like, so if you want to go to 100, I would say be very, very careful in the first couple of trades.
So I'm at 34 in total at the moment, with a couple open. I'm going to finish out the block at 20.
Good.
Once I hit 40, I'm going to increase.
Okay, there's one other aspect to increasing size which I haven't discussed before, and it might be relevant to you. There's a huge difference between playing with the casino's money, and seeing your own funds depleted. If you if you start off your account at 10 grand, you get it to 15 and you pull back to 11, it's not going to hurt you. If you start at 10 and you end up at 5, you're going to be tapping. So that's something to keep into account, depending on how you are personally. Like it's something to really consider though.
Okay, so currently I think my account size, I started at about 17,500 I think it was, and it's at 18,300 at the moment. So
totally fine. Totally fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna probably round it off to an even 20. Once I finish this, so once I finish 40 in total, so the next block of 20, once I get that finished up, and if providing there's no, I don't start going off the rails, I'm gonna level the account back to 20 grand, and then move up to 100. And then the plan was kind of, like you advised before, with a sort of a graduation plan of 100, 200.
What's your end goal? What's your end goal?
I don't know, 1,000 or 2,000. Mm-hmm. At the moment, it's 1,000 per R, $1,000 R.
$1,000 R to me is like perfect. Like I love $1,000.
Yeah,
the math just slides through my head. I don't want to do percentages. I love $1,000 R's. It's like when you're putting in orders wrong because your subconscious just screams at you.
So have you been trading this, Scott? I haven't
traded it. The last time I traded was like 2.5 weeks ago. So full disclosure, right. I haven't traded since. So
that is one of the things I wanted to check about, was because I'm finding sometimes even at $50 a trade, getting filled.
Getting filled should take you a while. It shouldn't. Right. It shouldn't be instant. Like I know how it feels when you've got an order in, you've got a partial fill, and you're waiting for it.
Okay.
If you want to avoid that, so what do we get paid for in finance? And no one's going to pay. We get paid for doing difficult things. Those things can either be technically difficult, like market making, like high frequency trading, like options pricing, like volatility trading, or they can be emotionally difficult, like sitting with your ass puckering with a half fill, like that's emotionally difficult. That's why you're paid. Going.
It's roughly when you get like filled for like, I don't know, 1.5 contracts, and then it starts taking off, and you're left with 20,000 contracts unfilled.
You've just got to suck it, and you've just got to suck it and see.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you actually do get paid for sitting through that horrible situation, and I hate it too. Everyone hates it.
Yeah.
Don't.
All right. Cool.
If you want to avoid that feeling, you can avoid that feeling. All you have to do is tip your friendly neighborhood market maker. Like that's what they do. That's what a market maker does. They're sitting in there saying, if you don't want to experience this butthurt, I'll take that feeling off your hands. Just go up a tick. Yeah. Just hit the market order. I got you. Like they're happy to avoid that problem, right? And
see, for my stops and take profits, obviously they go in at a market fill. And I'm getting kind of slipped quite, like I've found quite a few times what should have been a 2-hour win is coming out at like a 1.2 or a 1.3.
On a limit order. No, that can't be.
Well, maybe that's the problem then. I shouldn't maybe.
This is a problem. A limit order is an order to get filled at that price. Period. Full stop. End of.
No, sorry, I'm talking about take profits. So when I enter a bracket order in TradingView, the TP and the stop go in at stop their stop orders, not limits.
Oh hell no, dude! Hell no.
So the TP should always be a limit stop.
Always.
TP.
Okay, so let's clear that up. A stop order is a market order that gets entered into the market as soon as price trades at a point.
Yeah.
A limit order is an entry in the order book at that specific
As
moment. You cannot be filled for if it's a limit order, you cannot be filled for less than your limit in a long.
So I need to check that out then, because when you integrate FTX and TradingView, when you
I would okay. So if you're going to do that, I would cancel the order and enter in a separate type, like let it in at the start and then enter it in as a separate limit order. So that way you'd still be able to use TradingView. But I promise you, limit orders are limit orders. Like there's no.
Yeah, right. That's what it's just one of the things that goes in when you put a bracket in. The TP and the stop seem to enter as market stops.
So a stop should be a market.
Yeah, right. So they're both say it's a long. You get a buy limit, the trigger, and then the TP and the stop loss both go in as sell stops. So I guess I'll just need to stop placing the TP with the tool.
It seems weird to me. It seems like that's a bad mistake because that's not the way it is in most.
Yeah, let me. I can quickly show you one if you want me to share. Oh no, wait, I'm not logged into TradingView, but
it's probably easier if you reach out to TradingView support or your broker support.
Yeah, right. I can. It's easy enough. You can choose not to place the profit.
Yeah, well, I would